Hello there, this is Cookies, and I have turn 72 of MA Naba as part of the slowest blitz. So we have a fair amount of stuff going on this turn, so let's go ahead and dive into it. So we empowered Mechaloth in Blood, and that's because we realized that we could give him a Skull Staff and a couple of blood boosters, and then he can summon vampires for us. So that's a great way to get more death mages and also break into like a higher base of blood. Shaitan are blood 2, vampires are blood 3, so it gives us access to that. Additionally, we've got Arcane Probing here, which missed, and we'll go ahead and check a few others. We get some Forest Giants. We see a Dire Portent go up. That's Mother Oak. Since Balin's Mother Oak on Abyssia went down when his capital was taken, we cast Raven Feast. 3 death gems for 9, 3 air gems for 9 death gems. Pretty good deal. And 3 red seconds. We got enough Ifrit. This is for thugging duty. And we found a Starflower Garden. I believe that's 2 astral. One astral. Darn, I was hoping for more. Alright. So we do have a few battles this turn. We start off, we have what looks like a few raids between us. So let's go ahead and dive into those. First up, Forest of Pine. Little raiding party. It's this Golem Crafter leading a small number of defenders. And they should be able to clean up a little bit of Jaguar Tribe. There we go. So they take that cleanly. They also go ahead and attack Agartha, trying to break the siege. And we see it's a thug, the Marble Oracle. And this guy's pretty cool. He's got a Carmine Cleaver, which gives a fire shield, some fire resist, a bunch of attack. It's armor piercing. And it has a armor piercing burn flesh. So pretty cool weapon. Pretty expensive, 10 fire, 5 earth. But hits like a truck for him. So that's a 45 damage armor piercing attack. That also takes a burn effect. And then we've also got an ice helmet. We've got this armor of knights. Is this called technically slashing damage? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so all the fire damage is on the secondary effect. Okay. And he's got Spirit Sight and 16 attack, so very spooky. Also has an ice helmet, armor of knights for 31 protection. Boots of Grasping Earth, so affects up to 2 squares per round with Earth Grip, so pretty cool. And Chains of Reconstruction for regen, so a fair amount of earth. So we've got, what, 25 earth gems in this guy? I mean, presumably he's using hammers to forge all this. We got some water, we have a 10 fire, but yeah, very solid on a mindless chassis, so it can't be mind hunted, soul slayed. You're gonna have to kill him in combat. It's got 144 regening hit points, so yeah, very heavy duty thug. And in terms of what he's going up against, unfortunately, we were trying to catch his Sentinel squad. Now, this is a mistake for me. I overcommitted on the camels for this attack. If the attack rear was going to work, it was going to work with just 2 of these squads. We didn't need to bring 4. So this was a gross overcommitment. But it is what it is. All the falcons kill themselves. They can't even damage him. Well, he's up to 34 protection now. And these guys just aren't going to hit hard enough with 18 damage scimitars to really punch through him. He regens 15 a turn. So, yeah, pretty disgusting. Earth Grip. Earth Grip's not going to do it, buddy. I hate how Earth Mages just do that by default. I mean, there's probably not much else he could have done as an Earth 1, but even my Earth 3s were casting that in the big fight. Alright, so he does win that. This is a pretty solid defeat for me. That's 40 times 23, which is 920 gold, so he kills right around 1,000 gold worth of stuff for free, basically. He takes no attrition. In Smother Dark, let's see, he's got these militia. And I think it was just like maybe 1 PD or something. I don't know. Oh, it was a scout. Oh, it was a sieging force on his fort. That's right. So he just freezes fort. Then in, I believe we have one more fight, which is in Silver World. So we'll go ahead and look at that. So he actually sends this stack into the side province, which is where my other camel stack would have been. And I think it would have probably done some work. Like, these guys would have been tough. But I think if the other attacker one had come in over here, we had some potential success, because the ghouls weren't going to do anything. So, pretty unfortunate. But yeah, just roundly defeated in raiding this turn. Hopefully I can start pulling it back. Kirby's doing a great job right now. So, we need to try and rise to the occasion, because I do have more resources than him, but he's presenting very hard to kill units, so I need to try and figure out this puzzle. With Capria, we see Man and Asphodel continuing their war. So we've got a Charcoal Shield Firebrand Thug. The Fire Shield is so mannequins kill themselves on this guy. The Firebrand is so he kills mannequins very quickly. And the Amulet of Resilience is a bunch of reinvigoration, so if he does pass out, he'll wake up very quickly. So that's kind of the goal there. And it looks like he's found exactly what he was meant to kill, which is a stack of mannequins. You can see how the mannequins killed themselves on him. He's at 196 fatigue. 200, he's taking some HP damage. But is he gonna win this while passed out? Looks like it. So yeah, he barely lives. And it's because the mannequins were still... They were killing themselves in the fire shield, but they were still punching through it and fatiguing this guy out. So... yeah, I don't know. Maybe a little bit of regen would help him out, or just someone to bless him, because he's got a pretty good bless. So... but yeah, that was close, but well done to man. Alright. We've got the famous Leshy. These things are spooky. Going up against this Warlord. "27 prot, 37 hit points. A flying shield. Alright. Pretty much ate those two Abyssians. And we've got another fight between Anarus and Abyssia down here in the Farseer Mountains. Looks like he's storming this fort. So inside of this fort, we've got the Abyssian Wall PD, which is some of the worst ever. It's just these human-bred spearmen. So not even archers, but to try and make up for it, you do get a Fire 2 mage. So they can do like fireball and stuff, so that's kind of nice. He's got a number of Abyssian infantry, a large number of fire snakes. The fire snakes also have venomous fangs with a strong poison. So the fire flare is AoE 1, so they're pretty good. We've also got firepower, so they're significantly beefier in Balan's Dominion under Second Sun. So they're all the way up at 18 attack. And they've got 15 MR. And I'm not sure if they're, I don't think they're, yeah, so their damage doesn't scale with strength. So it's a little bit of a downside. Also got a Scorpion Man, which is pretty cool. So he's got a Plague Bow, Gaze of Fear. Almost never see these guys because they come so late in the game and they're just a unit. And they're kind of expensive for being just a unit. So kind of cool to see one. Maybe he'll fluff it. Kind of hoping he'll try and do something for it. He's got a bunch of Pillar of Fire spam back here as well. So up here, we have a line of Jade Maidens. We have a bunch of Draconians in the back, along with a number of mages and storm demons and more Jade Maidens. So let's see how he does. Ooh, that landed right in the mage ball. Did anyone die from that? An adventurer. Ooh, a fire 3. Lizard shaman. 3 lizard shaman? 4 lizard shaman. Ooh, that's brutal. Alright, we have heat from hell going up. Some stuff landed on the back near the mages, but not so much. Although they're killing some of them. I would have liked to have seen some of these guys on bodyguard duty or on this mage ball, because that's like a big part of your combat power right there, and you're just letting Draconians 2-tap them. A little disappointed in this whole squad for running forward too. They could have come back and helped. Oh, we've got this guy, 2 Blades of Grass. Armor piercing with draw blood. Ooh, they have a bleed effect. Interesting. So he's got 2 of those for maybe counter thug duty. Bracers of protection, so he's up at 27 defense, 24 prot. Spooky with invulnerable 25. So he's actually protection versus mundane of 32. He has regen, fire res 20, shock res 10, a cold vulnerability, but you don't have to worry about that versus Abyssia. He's also lucky, berserker, magic weapons. Yeah, 34 hit point horse. Goodness, must have been enlarged, is my guess. Current hit points. A little confused how he... Surely he got enlarged or something. Enchantment. But yeah, very high attack, very high damage. Just cleans up these mages. Alright, and with the leadership dead, the army routes. And once again, we watch a tremendous number of fire summons running away. Which just feels sad from my player perspective, where I like to see the units fight it out. But very efficient from Vanarus. So he moves in to pick up some free experience stars. Alright. So, oh, it's the wrong battle. So how did this end up going? So Vanarus lost 8 mages, primarily in that opening salvo of Pillars of Fire. Loses a lot of his Draconians, but he can get more of those. He's got a discount site. I'm sure he has a lot of commanders. These are pretty expendable. Well, I'm sure he'd rather not lose them because they're great for siege strength, but if he loses them, he loses them. 6 Storm Demons, that probably hurts a little. And 17 Jade Maidens is probably fine. And then the Berserkers is also fine. So the primary losses here are the mages. He did not lose his Fairy Queen. So, and in exchange, he gets 264 from Abyssia, including 12 real mages, and then some Deer Tribe Shaman, 100 Abyssian Infantry, 100 Fire Snakes, 25 Sacreds, and a Scorpion Man. So got a lot of value there, and cleared out the fort garrison. So still, even with the mage losses, still fairly efficient in my opinion. And then I think we've got a fight between Pyrene and Ulm, as those, I think those hostilities broken out. So we have a raiding party led by a Sorgina and some Fiends of Darkness. Very cool little raiding party because it's entirely flying. So you have a 22 map move raiding party. If she were stealthy, it would be a stealthy raiding party. And there's things you can do to fix that. The Black Cat, you lose too much of the movement speed, I bet. But maybe she's got a flying form. I'm not super familiar with the Sorgina. But nevertheless, still a pretty efficient little raiding group, and they can really get back there. Does a little bit of mist form. Alright. I keep clicking on the wrong one. There we go. A couple of events this turn. Cool. I got some guys cursed. Alright. And one of my shakes died from disease. Okay. So what are we doing this turn? In terms of research, we're moving towards Infernal Tempest. And that's so we can upgrade our armies troop-wise, and I think once we start putting on some Storm Demon casts, we will definitely have a solution for Agartha. So, because he won't be able to do Iron Skin type effects anymore without taking on a lightning vulnerability, and we'll be able to, I believe these should be able to kill the statues as well. So it's all armor negating attacks. So yeah, so we're focusing that on our research. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and head out with the main army. We've changed up our formation a little bit. So the Communion's further back. We're going to have 3 main blocks of troops. So we've got the Adites, the Janguard, and the Janguard. So 2 blocks of Sacreds, 1 unit of Adites. The Adites are probably the main hitters in this because they're a little bit stronger than the Janguard. And in terms of buffs, we've got anti-magic, a couple of casual gifts from Heaven Cast, and then he's just going to fire so he doesn't burn out the Communion. We've got Divine Channeling again. We're going to do Gift of the Furies. A little bit of morale and attack, trying to make sure our guys hit. We need to do Steel Slice Warriors. So we've got 3 casters, 1 for each block. We're also going to try to Gift of the Furies each block. So additional morale, additional attack, armor piercing. And then we're going to do Army of Giants and Relief to keep our troops fighting, keep them swinging. Also going to do Army Regen. Oh, I don't need Relief a second time. I'll have to update that coming up in the script again. Otherwise, he's just going to cast something random. Um, Still time to fix that. I'm only one turn behind my current turn. And we've got Life for Life for a little bit of anti-thugging, although some of his thugs have 150 HP. And then we've got some quickening, but only on one of the groups. We're also throwing up Army of Mist, Arrowfend for all the earth projectiles that his golem crafters were throwing. Doom to help us maybe try and win some of those rolls. Help our communion out if they decide to do some Enslaved Mind spam, stuff like that. And we're also doing Rush of Strength. So the key here is we want to get, I don't know, maybe like, we want to get the +4 strength, and then from Rush of Strength, and then I think it's +3 strength from Army of Giants, so that's +7. These guys hit for 21, so getting them to hit for 28, or the Adites to hit, who I think hit for 23, to get them to hit for 30, is starting to get to the territory where we can maybe start whittling down some of these statues. So that's part of it. Another part of our plan is we've included some more army thugs. So we've got this Ifrit with a gate cleaver, which is armor negating and does a tremendous amount of damage. So 24 attacks, 61 damage. As long as he's alive, which is a little bit sketch because he's only got 16 defense, they'll see right through his unseen. They don't care about that. So he could struggle staying alive, but I'm hoping, maybe between some magic power and firepower, he'll be all right, because the firepower from Second Son should be pretty nice on him. So, yeah, he's all the way up at 16. He's also got this thing, the Dancing Trident. I'm hoping he'll just kill one Sentinel a turn, and hopefully mixed in with the army, he won't get focused down. So he's just on attack closest. We've got a couple of other thugs here. So there's this guy who's got a shock trident. We've got some giants that we brought along. So they do 37 and 42 for bludgeoning. Now these statues, I believe, will get fluffed with bludgeoning resistance. So they might actually still struggle to punch through. But we got to do what we can at least try to do. Hopefully they'll also get fluffed with Steel Slice Warriors. So I've tried to get them to do 2 casts each, so maybe they'll be able to cover the big squads and this squad. I can try moving the squad up in my upcoming turn, maybe putting it right here. So we'll see. And then this guy's set up for a few quickenings. He'll try to get the majority of the squads. We've got this guy with an axe of sharpness. So he does 30 armor piercing. So he should be able to at least do some chip. It's just very hard to damage these statues. So, and then we've got this guy with a great sword of sharpness. So he does 38 armor piercing. So he should be able to punch through. And then this guy's got an enchanted spear. So he's just sitting in the back though. So he's not actually an army thug. This guy's got a GSS. So he does 35 armor piercing. And this guy's got a smasher. So he does 29 army, or I guess the main part of it is 20 armor negating on inanimate. But he still does a certain amount of base damage. So this is an extra effect on hit. So 2 hits from this guy can probably kill a statue. He just has to consistently hit 2 of them. In terms of other stuff we're doing, I don't know, I'm feeling a little less confident after going through that. But I don't know, we do kind of want to take some fights. Maybe we can punch through the statues now, though. And so yeah, we can see this guy getting a vampire. We are getting more giants. We're going to go ahead and forge a smasher. We're going to keep building army thugs. Um, I don't really have anything easy for killing his big dude. If that moves out, I'm gonna do a flask of holy water, I guess, and probably to bless an army thug running around. If it's outside of the army, we're doing a 3 red seconds. I believe this 3 red seconds is here at Under Mountain. And so if this force comes to reclaim here, they'll have to siege us down to do it. So we'll have a base of operations in the cave where they won't be vulnerable to the earthquake spam from our pretender, but we'll be able to shuttle Shaitan in and out of there and probably get up to some shenanigans if he tries to retake that province. And then in terms of our raiding game, we're going to go ahead and re-raid onto Smotherdark, and we're going to go ahead and raid the halls. We're going to leave Silver World empty. So you can see that raid, you can see that raid. So it looks like we're sending one party here, one party here. Oh, and this mage is just coming back to here. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and try to corrupt someone in Smotherdark. So we'll see how that goes. Finally revealing the Shaitan. And what else are we up to? We've still got our stealthy blood economy using Veil Army. I'm still upkeeping that. I'm not going to go through all those details. In terms of some of the blood summons, we're getting more Bloodthorns, we're getting a Brazen Vessels, so some more boosters. And because we're probably going to turn off a lot of the boosters is when the Storm Demons turn online. I just want to be able to start getting those in mass. We're also doing a Pyrocatharsis to save this Sahir. I don't have to spend 500 gold to replace them. And I'm not quite sure how much fire res you need, but I gave him 40, and hopefully that's enough. Every time I've tried previously, I think I normally burn the mage up. So sometimes they've got like 15 fire resist and they die from that, so maybe it does like 20 and 25 damage. So I'm hoping this will be okay. And then we're continuing to pick up more Serpent Fiends as patrollers, because they're fairly efficient for that. And then getting a Thistle Mace, apparently, as well. Ooh, and I guess I can just jump into here for forging. So yeah, doing a couple of Sanguine Dowsing Rods, a Cauldron of the Elven Halls. We're doing an Empower on Oma, it looks like. And we're empowering her in Death. And that's so we finally get access to the Fire Death Crosspath. So we can start making our own Skulls of Fire, and that'll be a much cheaper fire booster that we can send out on our mages, give them access to higher fire magic. So that'll be wonderful. Especially because I can kind of turn air gems into death gems at a pretty good ratio, so that'll be really nice. And I think that's it for this one. And I should probably jump in. Maybe I'll jump into next turn and we can do some of those edits for the army, like removing that second relief cast. So I'll go ahead and see you in the next one. Have a good one.